I should probably add myself to the stream when we start a new show. Welcome, with all the technical difficulties, to the Soapbox. It's Friday, March 4th, 2022, and we just got done spending exactly 2 hours talking about the latest in Marvel happenings and the Batman. Because the other show that we do is the Mostly Marvel podcast. So forgive us if sometimes we like to talk about stuff that's not Marvel. But yeah, we all went and saw the Batman this week, and we had a lot to say about it. So if you get a chance, go check out that other show, which is also on our YouTube, and see what you think. We even try to put chapters in there, so if you don't want to listen to us babble on about other stuff, you can skip ahead to just the Batman talk, or to the fun trivia that we play, or where we discuss news or whatever. But yeah, I'm just sitting around waiting for Frank to join us. And we're just gonna sit here and talk about whatever. I know Frank had more things that he wanted to talk about the Batman. I'm down to talk about whatever, because we also, for extra research, watched some other Batman movies this week. So I'm open to talking about those, and whatever other random stuff going on. So just waiting around to see if people join the audience. I know we got patrons that are considering doing that, so hopefully they do. And yeah, um, we'll see what happens here. So I think I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to say about the Batman movie. I thought it was a really interesting experience because there were so many things that I simultaneously didn't like, but also saw the room for potential for them to change and grow. And it made for a really interesting experience because I was trying to look at it through the lens of somebody who just finished watching the new Spider-Man Home trilogy, where we got to learn that all three movies recontextualized the actual origin of Spider-Man. And so retroactively, they kind of made that a better Spider-Man story than we thought it was going in. I was just saying how I'm trying to look at the Batman through the lens of somebody who just finished the Spider-Man trilogy, that completely reframed what
So,
we
yeah,
thought.
Spider-Man in the third act. Yeah.
And I
You
can't
can,
I
you can
can't
you can
help
see the
but look
light
at
bright now.
Oh, nice.
I turned it on.
Yeah. I can't help but look at it like that because I feel like they're trying to take a lot of cues from those movies, right? Like,
There's a lot they're borrowing from, I feel. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not mad at that either, because like I think that's what you need to do, is recontextualize the Batman story to give us something different. So all the things I complained about like, okay, you really hit a lot of the same beats as Telltale and a lot of the same beats as Year One, and you hit all the boring parts of the Long
The
Halloween
Long Halloween. Yeah.
without any of the cool parts. I hope that was all in service to a much cooler second and third
Yeah.
act. You know what I mean?
Also, they sloppily tried to introduce Hush and damn, there's one more that I had for it. Well, Hush, the Joker, and one other person was sloppily introduced, and I can't think of the third thing. But they sloppily set him up, and I think the Hush one was particularly bad, but the
Well,
Joker
if it
one was
was just
definitely
his name
worst.
on a board, I don't know if it's
No,
necessarily.
it was Thomas Elliot. They specifically said Thomas Elliot, or it might have been his dad's name.
Are you sure
I
it
forget
wasn't
his name.
Arkham? The Arkhams that they referenced?
They did mention the Arkhams too.
Yeah.
Oh, Court of Owls, I think, is the third one. But I mean, that's kind of a loose reference, and that's just something I'm kind of drawing from
So
experience with this story. But
yeah. So I mentioned this yesterday with you, or maybe today. I can't remember.
yeah,
I'm not so opposed to them doing the Court of Owls though, because like I kind of think the stories that piss us off in the comics are better wells to dive into than to retell in a better way
yeah.
than the best stories ever. You know what I mean? Like
I
I
was confused when you said that early. I think it was earlier today or yesterday or whatever. I
yeah.
was definitely confused when you said that. I'm all like, why would he? Okay, I guess he's just being insulting towards the script, but I guess it wasn't. Like, no, I agree with you 100% because I always say, instead of remaking, like, don't remake Back to the Future, don't remake Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, remake like The Stuff, which was like a 1970s horror film.
Remake Hot Tub Time Machine.
Is it bad? Wait, I haven't even seen it.
Well, no, it's actually not a bad movie, but I'm saying it's not a perfect movie, which means that you're going to be less critical of it when it gets remade.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Jurassic Park remade ever. And that's why I kind of rejected the Jurassic World movie, because that's what it was doing, right? It was just remaking it.
It was remaking it and saying like bigger is better kind of thing.
A lot of people rejected The Amazing Spider-Man because it's like, if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it. You know, but like with the Spider-Mans, I'm a little more forgiving, and the Batmans, I'm more forgiving, because no one Spider-Man movie has touched on all aspects of Spider-Man in the same way no one Batman movie has done that either. Yeah. But like, my point is, don't do The Long Halloween as a movie.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because you're gonna fuck it up.
Do Court of
Owls.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because in your opinion, it's already fucked up. So anything they do could possibly make it better. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, it can only go up. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's why I like Infinity War and Endgame so much, because, dude, Infinity Gauntlet's kind of a shitty book.
Not a very good.
It's not a good book. Is it a cool spectacle? Yeah, it is, because we know that when it came out at the time, it was a landmark milestone event, right? Because we'd never seen that many heroes all together since Secret Wars, which was also a shitty story. You know what I mean? So like, I'm very excited to see Marvel do Secret Wars in movie form or in TV form, whatever. Because there's no way it can't be better. I believe Secret Invasion will definitely be better than the book.
You don't like Secret Invasion? I like Secret Invasion. I thought
it's okay. Cool. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm not saying they're horrible stories. I'm just saying, like, there's room for improvement.
Sure.
There is no room for improvement on The Long Halloween. There is no room for improvement on Frank Miller's The Dark Knight, Returns. There's just not, like, and so that's the problem with those, like, and Chris Nolan knew that when he did A Dark Knight. He just took elements from it, because that's the best you can do, like, you can't, you just can't do it all.
He did like a No Man's Land kind of with Dark Knight Rises. Not with the first one,
but he did a hybrid of The Dark Knight Returns and No Man's Land and Nightfall.
But he did what you're arguing for. Like, he took good stories and tried to mishmash them, and it didn't gel well.
It didn't gel well, but I'm saying, like, they're too good of stories.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you now. I see your point. And I like it. I like the idea.
Yeah. And so, like, the more and more, like, I've been thinking about this, the more I realize that's what I don't want to see them do anymore. I don't want to see them retread the stories that you hand your friend when they ask you, hey, what's a
Batman?
Yeah. I don't want that, because then they're going to see it and they're going to be like, of course, it's Carmine Falcone's her dad. Duh. Like, it's like, like, it doesn't do anything for me.
And then they're going to hate you. They're going to be like, I hate you for giving me this.
For ruining this movie. You
like, ruined this for me.
Yeah. So I think that's the most interesting thing about Spider-Man is I love the character. It's super hard for me to recommend a specific Spider-Man story. Like, unless it's like Ultimate Spider-Man 1 through 100 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a lot. That I'm like, this is the one you should read. I really like I like Spider-Man Blue. I do like that
Spider-Man
one.
Blue's great. That's
but
I think
I think and Tim Sale, Tim Sale, I'm a sucker for Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Yes.
It is both.
I just love the way they tell sweeping stories, like they really tell giant stories that like capture
grounded
that capture all of the magic of like 30, 40, 50, 60 years of storytelling that's been done, but they pull it off in such a small, concise way, and it's really cool. But
Darwin Cook does that too.
Yeah, Darwin Cook does. Like when I looked, I actually thumbed through Batman Ego today, like kind of fast, because like I didn't want to read it all because it was like 70 pages or something like that. But I was looking through it, and I got the gist of what was going on in the story.
It's on DC Infinite or
yeah. It's actually the way they printed it is it's Batman Ego and other stories. So it's a compilation of Ego and then like a bunch of other smaller Darwin Cook stories.
Okay.
So I just thumbed through Ego, and the art is just beautiful. But
I
it's
don't always
cool.
like it when the writers do their own art.
Yeah,
Darwin Cook's probably the exception.
no, Frank Miller is the exception. Frank Miller is the ultimate exception. Like,
In certain things, yes. In certain things, I
okay,
will
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
fine. I
Sin
get
City for
you.
sure. Dark Knight for sure.
I
Um,
Daredevil.
yeah, you're right. I got to give you Daredevil. Okay, but that's it. Okay, but that's it, Dennis. That's all. That's all he gets.
um, but
No, you're right there.
the 300.
I didn't like 300. I'm never a
Okay,
fan.
fair
I don't
enough.
even like the movie.
Um, but in any case, like I think, yeah, I think that
Sorry, I derailed you. Yeah, so ego's the main story, and then there's other
yeah,
little
there's other
stories.
ones, but the Ego story is basically about um Batman like being confronted, or sorry, I guess Bruce being confronted by Batman, like, and he kind of has this psychological like battle or argument about like, you know, what it means to be Batman versus Bruce and stuff. And so through that, they do a very Tim Sale, uh, Jeff Loeb rehash of all of the classic, Batman stories and
Okay.
adventures and stuff. And so you get to see Darwin Cook draw like the Joker and Two-Face and Robin and all these things that you want to see him draw because it's cool. It reminds me a lot of The Long Halloween and Dark Victory and stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's a lot like the story I referenced earlier, the Untold Tales of Batman, where it kind of goes through his timeline. But the it's weird. I know you've read it. I'm not sure if you remember, but the old the antagonist of the story of just this one story ends up being Batman himself. Like Bruce Wayne is an antagonist to Batman, and Batman's trying to figure out who the antagonist is the whole time, and it ends up being him. And that's when I knew that Batman was freaking crazy at that point in time. So
yeah,
I
he
thought
is
they
crazy.
handled that really well.
He is crazy, and I like that this one was also crazy. Like Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson was
yeah,
definitely crazy, but like I felt like he's crazy and just barely on the edge and hanging on. And that's why it was so funny when he learned about his parents and Alfred's secret that
Mhm.
I felt like he was completely justified in that hospital room.
Oh my
Like
god.
he's like, bro, do you understand that I am hanging on to sanity by a thread? And you just told me that my entire worldview is completely a lie. Yeah, like I think the Court of Owls story gets easier and easier each time somebody adapts that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's why I'm a huge proponent of I think you take a shitty story and you make it better. Like,
Sure.
and you just keep doing it.
And they also weeded out kind of the shittier elements,
Mhm.
like specifically Alfred being Bruce's biological dad and the crazy sex orgies. Like
Mhm.
that's an element that could just you could just leave that on the cutting room floor. That's like the gangbang scene in It. Like
Yeah.
just maybe leave that out of the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe don't talk about that ever.
Yeah. Or it's like all the nastiest parts of Civil War.
Yeah.
I'm
Good point, yeah.
very glad
Sure,
we didn't get those, you know what I mean?
sure,
Do I
sure.
think Civil War is a perfect movie? Nah, I don't. I don't think it is. But do I think it's a better version of the story that I read Mark Miller do? Hell yeah, it is, dude.
It's a little
Like
bit tighter, yeah.
yeah, it's tighter and it comes out with both of them still being heroes at the end.
But
You know what I mean?
if they did it by the letter from the comic, it wouldn't be earned because you don't have like the Fantastic Four, you don't
Right.
have but
Yeah.
you also don't have like
Yeah.
just everyone's history with one another.
Yeah. And
Whereas
that
this one was earned for itself in its own self-contained MCU universe. It
yeah.
was earned.
But that was the argument I was making in relation to the Batman, right? Is like the Batman uh went a lot more literal
Okay.
I'm used to seeing like adaptations do. Like, you know what I mean? Like Logan. Like never in a million years would I have thought that the story that's based off of that piece of shit comic would win an Academy Award. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
never. And but honestly, like you say it's based off of that, but like by what? Like 5%? Like 6%?
Yeah.
It's
Well, they
so
took the good
barely.
parts of it.
Yeah, exactly. They took they took the heart of it and they adapted it. And so that's what I appreciate about like so just to give context, the funniest part is Travis, who's been on the show many times.
Yeah.
He got really mad when I gave the Batman a B minus.
Oh, really?
He got mad at
That's
me
still a
because
good grade. What did he give it? Like an
he
A?
gave it a 9.5 out of 10. He
9.5.
said it was the adult geek movie that he's always wanted. And
Okay.
I'm like, I think Peacemaker was the adult geek thing that I've really enjoyed the most so far. Like if you're gonna make an adult story, I think one, Peacemaker's more adult
Mm.
and it's geekier than this, like but my critique was basically in short, I tried to say the thing that you and I have been talking about, which is I said I think this movie is better for each comic book that you didn't read. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
and I was willing to fight that until I started talking to my friends that don't read a lot of comic books that really enjoyed the movie that were like,
yeah.
"This is the best representation of Batman I've ever seen in my life," and I'm all like, "Wow, how many comics books have you read?" Absolutely zero. Or like if it's been one comic book, it's all like, "This was a really damn good movie. It's not the best movie, but it's really damn good." And I'm all like, "Wow, it's literally what Dennis said." Like the less comic books you read of Batman, the more you like the movie is what it
And
seems
it's not a judgment. I'm not making a judgment on the people that enjoyed it because I think that's their experience to have. And I
like.
think that's fucking cool. Like that's my goal always, right? Is to make a movie that gets people on board with the stuff that we love. And so like, hey, you can't argue that like at least the barrier of entry is way smaller now because if you handed them year one, they'd be like, "Oh, this is exactly like that movie, but less cool because I have to read it." Um, so it did the exact job that I always want movies to do, but like at the same time, I'm selfish and I want comic book movies to be for me also.
Sure.
And I felt like it was less for me and it was more for them, and that's fine. Um, but yeah, that's the argument that I tried to make, and he got super mad at me and said, "Whatever. It's not like Marvel movies aren't based on a bunch of comics also." And I said two things. I said, one, there's a difference from being based on something and literally just retelling it.
Mhm.
Two, let the record show that this time you made it a Marvel versus DC argument and not me. Like I just spent 6 weeks consecutively singing the praises of
Of
Peacemaker.
DC. Yeah, if DC
You
in the
can't
direction they're
you
probably
can't
going.
call me a fanboy just because it's the mostly Marvel podcast. I just do that because they put out more content. That's all. Like
What the only thing I think is funny about this argument that you're making, this valid and truthful this argument that I feel is truthful so far, you know, the only thing that I find funny about it is you usually advocate for the normies. And in
I
this
do.
case, you're
I do
advocating
advocate
more
for the
for
nerd.
yourself than for the normies.
Oh, but I'm saying I gave the movie a B plus or B minus though. I
Yeah,
gave
no,
it a
no,
B.
I get what you're saying.
I gave the movie a B minus, and so that was the other thing I said to him because he kept coming back at me angry, and he's like, "Hey, I know all the pretty much all the destinations of story. For me, it's about the journey." And I'm like, "That's cool. For me, the journey was the boring part. I actually really loved the destination of this movie. Like where the movie ended was my favorite thing about the movie, other than the narration, which like the narration was just like
Yeah.
it kept me going for the whole movie.
Rorschach's journal. The
Yeah,
city weeps.
but I felt like there was nothing new and refreshing about the journey in itself. Like stylistically, were they showing me a different version of Batman? Yeah, but that's par for the course, right? Like every director has to put a stamp on
Yeah.
a new style, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing and that shouldn't be counted. towards the awesomeness. I like the style. I thought it was cool. I thought cinematography was amazing. I thought music was amazing. I just was like, I go for the story. You know what I mean? Like I go for the story, and I wasn't given a story that wowed me in any
It just
meaningful way.
didn't really resonate with you as much.
Yeah, exactly. And probably because I've seen it done better. You know, I've seen it done slightly better. I mean, you're talking of incrementally
You're talking
better.
about the 1960s Batman film with the shark and Mrs. Katya.
Well, I do. That is my favorite Catwoman. Just so you know, like
Is that
Lee
Lee
Merriweather.
Merriweather? Yeah, Lee
Mm.
Merriweather's. She's great. She's fantastic.
Ah,
I like them
but
all, but
yeah,
she's my favorite for sure. And
but
that's
I told
I
yeah. Oh,
appreciate that Batman XXX. The Catwoman in that
oh
one
man,
imitates Lee
Tory
Merriweather.
Black, Tory
Yeah, Tory
Black.
Black.
Oof.
Yeah, fantastic,
Yeah,
fantastic. That scene.
but yeah, I
Now that's a
finished
10
my
out of 10. That's the movie that
yeah.
they needed to that Matt Reeves needed to adapt.
But I tried to finish my argument with Travis by just saying, like, I find it really hilarious that we're arguing the extent of which we both enjoyed the movie. You know
Yeah,
what I
I know.
mean? Like you're getting mad at me because I thought it was not perfect. And I'm like, that's okay. It's okay that it's not perfect in my eyes. Like you can think it's closer to perfect. That's fine, you know, like but it was really funny to me. But the reason I think it's still good is because I always am an advocate for the normies, and I just think like I think more than any superhero movie I've seen without my wife this year, I'm most excited to watch this one with her in 2 months, you know, or in a month and a half.
Yeah,
Like I want her to see it and I want to sit there with her and watch it, but we're going to pause it every hour and go take a break, go have a meal or whatever. Or maybe we might even watch it over 3 days. Who knows? You know what I mean? But like but I'm excited to watch it with her because I think it's a good movie. I think it is. And yeah,
yeah.
but I think it's better. Like the unfortunate part is like I haven't made Lindsay read a lot of Batman comics, but you best believe I made her read Year One, The Long Halloween, and
Yeah,
Dark
sure, sure,
Victory,
sure, sure.
and you know, like so it's unfortunate because she knows those stories
I
too,
was gonna
and
say,
she
which may work against her now.
it may work against her, and she also knows the Telltale game.
But I
Uh,
mean, those stories are. I'm gonna assume they're stories that you've read a few times, right? It's not a story
yes,
that you've read once. Now I'm gonna.
year one, maybe once or twice. Long Halloween, I've probably read more than any other comic in the history of comics.
Yeah, I've read at least like I don't want to say once a year, but like when it first came out, I read it like a couple times that year for sure.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
I've
all
read.
Tim Sale books I've read a few times.
Yeah, I think I've read the Long Halloween, uh, the Dark Knight Returns, Watchmen, and V for Vendetta more than any other books.
Killing
Um,
Joke for me, I read a few times.
I've read probably twice. I don't dislike that book, but like I think it fundamentally goes against what I always enjoyed about the Joker, which is never knowing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Well,
you know,
they kind of half-ass the I don't know,
yeah,
I'm crazy at the end.
they do half-ass it, but like, you know what I mean? But like it's like, is Wolverine cooler because you know his name is James Howlett?
Fucks to the no. He
Exactly.
he
You know
was
what I
so
mean?
cool
Like,
before that, and I hated the way they did that
yeah.
in Origins.
You
Um,
know what I mean? So that's my point with the Joker. Like that's why I love Heath Ledger's version of it so much because you'll never get to know. Well, honestly, you'll never get to know
but,
what that one's story is.
what I do love about Heath Ledger's is that some people can is that the argument can be made that he was a soldier that returned from war and was so distraught that it kind of snapped his mind and he devised this plan or whatever to take down the Gotham underworld or to you know
Yeah,
to take down people to just be an agent of chaos
but
and
that's the beauty, right? Is everybody can have their own theories.
sure, yeah, and you can have
Yeah.
that theory or you can even
And
squeeze Arthur
and
Fleck into that
and
story. It
they're
doesn't
all
matter.
right and they're all wrong at the same time. You
Sure,
know,
yeah, and
and
and,
so
and that's
he's
but that's what I like that
he's Schrodinger's Joker. He's Schrodinger's Joker.
sure, yeah, yeah. There's so
Yeah.
many breadcrumbs that they throw out that you can
Yeah.
follow, or you can take his lead, or you can even believe his stories. Maybe every one of his story is correct.
I
Um,
liked Schrodinger's Logan also, you know, like that's
Schrodinger's Logan's
both
cool. I
both of
didn't
them were better.
I wasn't a huge fan of, and this is kind of a maybe an unpopular opinion or a hot take, but I wasn't a huge fan of Wolverine or sorry, Magneto taking the adamantium out of Wolverine, and we find that he has bone claws because all through the 80s we were told that he had housings built into his
Yeah,
arms.
I know.
Um, and I was cool with the housings because he had a healing factor, and that's why he couldn't get sick from it or whatever. So
Yeah, I like the idea of Magneto taking the metal out of
that
Wolverine.
was
I
sweet.
think
Yeah, yeah,
that's
I
like the
love.
best thing. That's the best thing that we've all been waiting for forever for him to do, right? Like,
Sure, yeah, I
is
love that idea.
just finally say, "I'm done with you. You suck." Like,
Yeah, I'm tired of this shit.
but yeah, the bone claw. Like, I mean, every now and then, there's decisions made that are just like, all right, let's roll with it and see where this goes, and hopefully 10 years from now it pays off. But
But
here I am. I think we're 20 years down, and I still don't. I'm not happier that I know his name is James Howlett Logan,
mhm,
and that
mhm.
he's a fetishist for redheads. Like, I'm not. It doesn't.
That's true. That his redhead fetish was informed by his youth. That is
Yeah,
insane. I didn't think about that. It's funny.
yeah.
It's funny as hell.
It's gross, right? Like, it's just like, okay.
It's just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't make him better, is what I'm saying. When I
But
say
the
it's
but the
gross, I'm not judging you if you like things about it. I'm saying, like,
sure, sure.
it didn't make him better. It didn't
But
make him
the
better.
but the clause really resonated with people, and I'm like, ah, why? Stop liking that. I don't like that you
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
One thing that I was gonna bring up about like bad comics being made into movies is that like once Carnage was announced to be in Venom 2, everyone's screaming Maximum Carnage, and that's another one that I didn't like. I thought that book sucked.
Well, in fairness, my rule doesn't apply to Sony movies.
All right.
I mean, nobody I don't I I don't want to see Sony do movies because
Anything.
they're not, yeah, just not, they're not, whatever. I'm sure I'll get in trouble for that one day in my life, but whatever. No,
Well,
it's just like, they're I don't think they go into superhero movies with the purest intentions. And to be fair, I don't think Warner Brothers or Marvel do either. But I just think Marvel and Warner Brothers are better at masking their true intentions than
yeah,
Sony is. And
because
so,
it's all the bottom line, and you really feel that
yeah.
bottom line in a Sony movie.
Yeah. And that's what I was arguing, or I was talking to Ricky about earlier today, is because, like, I was saying I felt like too many choices in the Batman were safe choices.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
you were
he's
talking about that. I said I would
and
think about
he's
it.
and he was saying, "Well, isn't safe good? Like, safe's good." And I'm like, "Safe is good for the bottom line." Like, I think
Safe is good to fill seats.
because he was saying his argument was that Ben Affleck was divisive for a lot of people, and they wanted, they probably just wanted to go for something a little less controversial this time around.
Mhm.
And you can't argue that. Robert Pattinson was definitely more in line with what traditional Batman fans want, right?
Sure, but not what dude bros want.
Right, not what Dude Bros want. Right, exactly. But my argument was like, I hate defending Ben Affleck Batman, by the way, but like,
Do it.
I think we should always be pushing for uh something that we've never seen before. And I don't think safe is ever that answer, right? Like, I think safe is what gets us a Batman that's not a ninja. Like, and god damn it, like, be a ninja also. Like, just be the ninja also,
Batman
so
Begins was for all its faults, like in retrospect, and for all its good things that it did, it was not safe. I don't think they played it safe at all.
that movie was not safe. That movie was the opposite of safe. They're like, no one's paying attention, let's
Yeah, they're
do
all like,
this.
"Fuck it, let's make him a ninja and shit."
And it's so cool when they do a Batman where they think no one's paying attention, because I wasn't paying attention.
Mhm.
And then I was like, what, a new Batman movie came out, I guess I'll go see this. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I saw it
what
maybe
the
like
fuck is
2
this
or 3 weeks
movie?
later or something like that
Yeah.
at $5 matinee.
Yeah. So I think not playing it safe is the best way to maximize, like, onboarding new fans. Like, you play it safe, you're catering to the same audience over and over again, like, so
But
yeah.
if I'm gonna play devil's advocate with that argument though, to some degree, DC needs to play it safe because they need to get the seats filled right now.
I know, and that's why I've said every argument I make against the Batman is like fucking catch 22. Like
It's true. It's true.
every argument,
I'm really feeling
every
that because like I feel like I'm Schrodinger's argument because every argument that I make for Batman is kind of like a ding on something else.
and
It's kind of weird.
and you will know that this something is weird because every argument you make against mine, I just say, yeah, you're right, because catch 22, dude,
Yeah,
because it's true, because they painted themselves into such a ridiculous corner that like they're gonna upset people and please people at the same time, and yeah, what are you supposed to do? Like, at
yeah,
least so in that sense, Ricky's right, but at the same time, I think he's wrong. Like, I think,
yeah, yeah.
it's weird.
It,
But I
it it
think,
is weird to come away from a movie and be like, that was a cool movie. I don't like it, or that was a well shot movie. I guess I think I don't know.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
so weird to come out of a movie feeling pumped but dubious at the same time. And that's how I felt. Like I was like super engrossed in the story early on, and then the ending was so long-winded that I was just kind of like the hype was over. Like, and this is the vulgar thing that I was gonna say. It's like when it's like when a woman sucks your dick to completion, and like you already come and it was very satisfying, but then she keeps going, and you're like, I want to go to sleep. I want you to go home, and I want to go to sleep. Like that's what I want to happen. And
uh,
that's what I feel this movie was. It,
only on the soapbox is where
it
you'll get those
yeah, I wasn't gonna
analogies.
say that on the regular thing, and it had to be like 30 minutes into the soapbox, so I could be sure that we weeded out all but our most stalwart fans.
Yes, that's
And
funny.
this won't age well too. Like this will get me. This is what gets me canceled in 2032.
You should have said when a person sucks your dick to completion,
Oh
Frank.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
A
Um,
person and or nope, nope, no, never mind. Just a person.
when a
Just a
person
person.
and or vehicle
Of their
sucks
own volition.
of their
Of
own
their own
volition, yeah,
volition.
after they've already signed the waiver that states that it's consensual.
Yes. Of
Um,
sound mind. Yeah. All those
but
things.
man, that freaking car though. So I've been looking up muscle cars today. Like I saw a '68 Mustang. I know you're not a car guy, but I saw a '68 Shelby GT Mustang for like $22,000, and it claims to have 14,000 14. I'm sorry, yeah, 14,000 miles on the odometer. And I'm like, you're saying a '68 Mustang for $22,000 has 14,000 miles on it? That's bullshit. That's like my Prius has like almost 80,000 miles on it.
That's funny.
So
Yeah. You should go buy it. It's definitely legit.
I, I'm kind of interested. I just want like a hobby car to kind of work on in my garage and stuff, and kind of hang out and kind of be a dude bro.
And then next thing you know, you're Batman.
Yeah, next thing I know, I'm Batman. That's
Yeah.
all. And then I play the Godzilla. I'm gonna have the Godzilla thing piping on the PA. That way, whenever it's dark, like when it's dark or foggy or something, it's all it just revs up and it's all like brr, 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 brr.
So if we want to keep talking about Catch 22s,
Yeah,
I know you weighed in on it before you ever saw the movie, but I'm giving you the chance to do it again.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
did you think about Batman tanking all bullets?
Yeah, I think I was more accepting of it in the previews, but like, just because like it was that one hallway scene that was really prominent in the preview, and I'm sure there were others, but in this one, man, he sure as hell tanks every shot. Like his suit might be magnetic because he t- he tanks every tiny little shot that comes at him. Um,
Yeah, nobody misses. Nobody
nobody
misses.
misses Batman. Yeah,
You
you
know
know,
the thing.
my daughter started taking me to the shooting range every so often because she has the military discounts and whatnot, and I was really nervous about shooting a gun at first, and I wasn't a very good shot, and now I'm getting a lot better as a shot, but I'm still not as good a shot as every single person in Arkham City.
Gotham City. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I got
yeah.
Gotham City Girls.
So here's the funny thing about it. Again, it is a catch 22 for me. So I will point one nitpick out though. So when he started tanking them, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is just a full suit of freaking legit armor that maybe this is why he's not the ninja. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to convince myself of things and stuff. I was like, it because no single bullet is getting through to him at all. Like it doesn't seem like this is the same kind of suit that Christian Bale had, where it's like you got to be careful because certain spots are
Yeah, there's
whatever
plates.
questionable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later at the end of the movie, after he takes a full shotgun to the chest, and it like that one hurt him more than all the machine guns. That was weird to me.
All the
Dude
high
pulls
caliber
out,
machine guns.
yeah, exactly. High caliber machine guns didn't do anything to him. He didn't even budge. But then like one shotgun, huh? But then the thing is, he pulls out an adrenaline needle and
Mm-hmm.
stabs himself in the leg, and I'm like, so there are chinks in the armor. What's going on here? So like,
Yeah. How did
yeah,
you get
like
that in there? Well, it looked
yeah,
like he had a little hole devised in the armor, I guess.
okay,
But
all
still,
right.
that's a hole in your armor. There's a
Yeah,
hole there.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I started thinking to myself, so wait, there are holes in your freaking armor. You know what you need to do, bro, is you need to get a yellow circle on your chest that tells people, please shoot here.
Please shoot here.
Because, and then I started thinking, I was like, maybe they will do that. Maybe they
Or
will.
I'll
Maybe
do
they
you
will.
one better. Get a guy with the big yellow cape and have him flip around.
Oh, they're definitely doing that. And I think that was the thing that I thought was the best about like the little subtle teases to future movies is I know this is not going to age well, me recorded saying this, but I really loved every time Batman creepily stared at little boys.
I like that too. I thought that was cool. At first, I was like, "What are you doing, Batman?" And I'm
He
like, "No,
always
like
just looks at them too long.
he's having a genuine moment with the kid. I wish it was reciprocated because that
Yeah,
would make it less
it's
creepy.
not a genuine moment because they don't
Yeah,
know
because
that they're
they're not
involved
in
in
it.
it.
But
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
a creepy moment.
It
Yeah.
is a creepy. No, you're right. You're right. It is a
But
creepy moment. But
but it's setting up the context that we've never been allowed in any previous Batman movie ever
yeah,
is that he sees himself in every child who's lost their parents.
yep,
And that was a really cool thing to be seeing throughout that movie is to know like we know like we love to joke about the pedophilia of Batman and everything like that because it's
yeah.
because
It's an easy joke.
it's an easy joke, right? But like the reality is like he is this twisted guy that thinks everything he's doing is righteous and just and is the appropriate response to losing your parents. And
Everything he's doing,
everything
his
he's doing.
entire life is based on
Yes.
that being
Yeah.
an appropriate response.
And
Yes.
so why wouldn't he think that teaching other children who've suffered the same tragedy he has to go along his path is not the righteous thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm down for it. I'm down if a movie trilogy can actually get a child Robin worked in there in a believable way
Yeah.
because they establish the context. That's the dream right there, dude. Because I tell you, Chris O'Donnell is about 30 years too old to be Robin, man. Like he is so old for
I forgot
Robin.
my suit, all right.
Oh man, that was hard, dude. Like
I
I
I
enjoy
still love
that
it,
movie.
though.
I enjoy that movie. I do, but like knowing knowing like knowing that there's a way. And see, that's why I say I think every time a movie thinks there's not a reasonable way to do it, let just wait. That director or writer just hasn't been born yet. You know
Sure.
what I mean? That's all it
No,
is.
there were aspects of Chris O'Donnell's Robin that I liked, and they're not
Yeah,
entirely
yeah,
Chris
yeah.
O'Donnell. I think his suit was really good, and like I really like
Even
the way they colored
nipples,
it.
nipples and all.
I'll give it a pass for the nipples, but
Those cod pieces are fucking
they're
huge, man.
gigantic. That's a lot of Schumacher wish fulfillment right there. But
That's some meat, dude.
but I love the color. I love the color on his outfit. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like playing him in the Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo version of Batman Forever. That was really fun.
And now the real game
Yeah,
begins.
the real game begins, and I liked a lot of it. But Crystal Donald, and I liked his stupid laundry, his The way he does his laundry was pretty funny to me. Like looking back on it, in the
Yeah.
moment, it was like, this is dumb. Why are they doing this? Looking back, I'm all like, why couldn't they do this? Why couldn't they do more of this? He should do all his chores like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I'm not gonna hate that movie for its faults because the faults that I see are from the lens of 2022 for sure.
Yeah,
And I know that like that was my favorite goddamn movie ever at the time when I watched it. And I watched it like so many times in the theater and
still
I
could be
watched it for
now.
and I watched it years and years later and I still loved it. And so I still there's a part of me that will always love that movie as silly as it is. But there's also a part of me that now knows that we can get better than that, like that
Sure.
at the time I didn't think we could, right? Like that
Yeah,
was
we,
like,
we we accepted what they gave us at the time.
yeah, but now after seeing the Batman, I'm like, dude, we might get a Robin that is actually like 14 years old or
Kid, yeah.
15 or 16, like that would be so cool. Like
The only
even younger would be cool actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a younger Robin.
Like a 12-year-old Robin, that would be
I
such child endangerment.
this Now this is a weird hot take too, but I wouldn't mind if we just skipped. Like we're in year 2, maybe skip to year 10, and we have like
Ooh.
a Damian Wayne as a Robin, and he's already an established Batman. We get the penny, we get the dinosaur, but we don't get the cheese involved in those stories, and
I
we can still have a grounded Batman. But
I hope it doesn't take Batman 10 years after he learned that Thomas Wayne is corrupt to uncover the Court of Owls.
you
that's
know,
that's like that defeats the entire purpose of establishing him as a
I was gonna
detective.
say,
Dude.
judging by his detective skills displayed in this movie, that's not a hard logical leap to make.
They were pretty good detective skills. I thought the puzzles were way better than Jim Carrey's puzzles.
You know, I could answer every single one of the riddles in this movie. The Jim Carrey ones, I needed Val Kilmer to help me out with those ones. I
Okay,
needed the
fine.
help, and also Jim Carrey had more pizzazz with his cards.
Oh, I still think Jim Carrey's the better Riddler. Okay, like he's still the better Riddler. I like Paul Dano only after he was finally in the cell.
Yes,
And
like when they took off the gimp
yeah,
mask when he stopped having
yeah,
sex with Bruce
I
Willis.
hated the outfit so much. Like it was just killing me. But I understood that it. I understood it. I wanted to believe that this movie was showing everybody in their chrysalis state. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like everybody's in a chrysalis, and they're all going to be orgullitas or oruguitas later.
Oruguitas?
They're all oruguitas that are going to be mariposas later.
Sure. Yeah. No,
Um,
I'm cool with that. Yeah. No, actually, when you put it like that, I'm cool. I think my favorite Riddler to see, and not necessarily the Harley one. My favorite Riddler, I think, is the if you're so smart, why aren't you rich Riddler. I love the green bowler hat and the green jacket Riddler. That's peak
oh,
Riddler to
you
me.
mean the one where he goes legit?
I love that one too. The one
Yeah.
with he's got the sunglasses.
Oh,
Like
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I like that one too. But I like my Riddlers with bowling hats and like stupid hamburger masks and like a blazer.
Yeah, but I could see a world where Paul Dano comes back as that one because, and this is what I was
That'd be
always
great.
arguing,
That'd be great.
is that like the whole point is the beginning of the movie, nobody knows who he is, but by the end of it, everybody knows who he is. So if he breaks out of jail, he has no reason to conceal his identity anymore. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
He's got a following.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I'm fine with it if he totally decides, yeah, maybe I'll just wear a domino mask for fun,
Yeah,
just for
fuck it.
fun, just for fun.
Yeah, screw it.
And then Robin sees that and he's like,
I like
"Yeah,
that. I like
yeah." And then Batman's like, that guy gave me my name." And it's like,
that.
that
He's a
serial killer?
fly, little Robin. Like he says an
That's
offhanded comment.
yeah, that serial killer is pretty cool. He gives me names and stuff. Like
He gives me names. I like him.
I think that's the grossest part for me of like this cool like retcon, like make everything fit, like within the story is like, why would you take the name that the serial killer gave you?
Well, okay,
I
I got one counter to that, but let me. I'll hear.
I get that vengeance is not the best name. Like and in that moment you suddenly realized on your own accord, oops, I fucked up. Maybe vengeance is a bad name.
When you're a 14-year-old going through your goth phase, Vengeance is a fucking sweet name.
For sure. For sure. Again, but like I'm saying, but once you need to pivot, I know the Batman's catchy. I know it is. And I know a lot of people are starting to say it, but I mean, are you trying to reclaim it for yourself? Is it like Take Back the Night kind of thing?
He's
Like
taking back
it's
the night. He's taking it back. He's taking it
all
all back.
right. All right. I guess it's just, what's
My
your
so my
argument?
my only counter for taking on the name that a serial killer gave you, and this isn't as bad as a serial killer, but I had a box set of Star Wars. I think I've told the story before, and my girlfriend at the time lent it out, and this dog chewed up Empire Strikes Back, just ruined it, and it pissed me off because my girlfriend at the time couldn't find that Empire Strikes Back, the exact disc to replace the disc that the dog chewed up. And it always angered me. It angers me to this day. And every time I get a new Pokemon game, I name my character the name of that dog, which was Sassy, each and every time. And it just refuels my anger towards that dog
But
every time I play the game.
you understand that dog is not inherently evil, correct?
I do. I do. And that's why I said it's not as bad as a serial killer,
Okay.
murdering, but still that dog did hurt me in a way that my OCD cannot forgive. Because now I have this stupid gold uh, DVD of Batman in that box set that doesn't belong there. It like the back's like formed a picture, and now it doesn't form that picture anymore. Now it's garbage
You mean Empire Strikes Back?
of Empire.
Or
Yeah,
or
just the
Star Wars?
trilogy, the entire trilogy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, yeah.
I'm
But
sorry. What's the name? What's the dog's name again?
Sassy,
Oh, Sassy. That's pretty
Sassy. So that's the name of my
good.
Pokemon
That's good.
character all the way
Yeah.
through. And I won't stop. I can't stop now. I'm like 10 Pokemon games in, and I can't
Yeah.
won't stop.
I will say I went in knowing there was a good chance the Riddler was gonna be Jigsaw. And
Oh, I was hoping, yeah.
and I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. Like
Yeah, same.
ultimately I was just like, I don't know. I mean, you're a character for sure. You're interesting, but I don't think you're the Riddler. You know what I mean? Like I think
I wanted more of a choice. Like I wanted the characters to be a personal choice to the Riddler, like someone personal. Like for instance, if let's talk about the episode "If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?" and he gets wronged by his bosses who take a game that he rightfully creates and they get rich off it. Something like that, something like a personal thing for Riddler,
yeah.
where he's getting revenge for a personal vendetta, not him trying to imitate Batman.
Or like having a bunch of Riddler toys in your house already, like and like, and just suddenly realizing I should just dress like this thing that I clearly like to collect.
Yeah, I love that's like it's a good thing he didn't have Zortan or whatever in in his house because he would have dressed like an evil genie or something.
Yes, exactly.
But I like Dano's portrayal of the Riddler. I thought
yes.
so. I was gonna mention this too, like in response to what we talk about in Legion and how I don't like Legion's portrayal of insanity, but I like Riddler's portrayal of insanity. I feel like it seems a little more realistic to me based on what I've seen. This is anecdotal data based on just pure experience, but Riddler seems more like a crazy person to me than Legion does. Legion seems like a fake crazy person.
Would it help if I told you that maybe he is?
Yeah, that's fine.
There might be reasons that you feel that way about his insanity.
Yeah.
And if you got further in the story, it might make more sense.
And maybe 10 years from now, when I finish Supernatural, I'll start on Legion. Maybe I'll start. Maybe before I do Legion, I'll do Invincible.
I don't have to ask him because I know that he's referring to what you just said about Legion.
Yeah, I know.
And that's Ian. You made him sad.
I made him angry. It looks like I made him angry.
Yeah, you made him angry. Welcome to the party, Ian.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, we were just having more fun nitpicking all our catch-22s with everything. You see how
But
I said like I was pretty sure I was gonna like that, and then I kind of didn't, but it's still pretty good. Like it's like
yeah, I know, I know,
that's
I know.
that's everything with this freaking movie. That's the weirdest part about this movie.
I wanted it to be more personal to Riddler. I didn't want it to be like him cleaning the filth. I don't mind him cleaning the filth, but at the same time, it could have done both. I feel like if it would have done both, I would have been a little more happier with
Yeah,
it. And if it
I
would have been like more of a Saw like thing where they have a choice to actually be able, if they would have adopted Jigsaw rules to the puzzles, I think I would have
yeah.
liked it a little more.
I think the thing that weirded me out about the finale with the flooding is it didn't go with everything that he'd been doing the entire movie.
Yeah,
Right? He had been systematically, surgically removing the corruption from Gotham. But in the end, he's like, ah, fuck it all. Just
and
just
I'm gonna flood it.
drown the women and children too, like
Let's flood
and
it all.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't understand why. Like that, like I think it's cool, like in the way that GI Joe Retaliation, Cobra Commander completely destroyed all of London. Fuck yeah, I think that's cool. Like, but in a cartoony way, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
we were hanging out doing this grounded story, and then at the last minute, you're
Yeah,
just like, fuck it, flip the switch, and let's drown the whole city.
there's the flood, or
Uh,
it would have been okay. I think the way we could have made that work is if he's all like, and I have a silent partner, and then you see like Red Hood like hit a button or something, or so something along those lines. So,
yeah, I don't like, just to be clear, I don't mind uh the idea of creating a world in which Gotham City was flooded and we have to see it rebuild from that. I totally love that as the premise of a next movie. Great. I'm just saying in the context of this movie
yes,
that it just didn't make any sense. Like why?
yeah.
What? Okay, fine. Yeah,
It,
sure.
what I was thinking when I was watching it, and mostly because I had to pee and because I was a little bored by that ending of the movie, um, I really think that they could have just left the tease that something more was coming, and then that could be the first 10 minutes of the next movie. That's the first 10 minutes of the second movie.
Ooh, that'd be nuts. But I do like seeing him save everybody. That
I know, I
that was
know.
cool.
I don't want to sacrifice that scene because that's Batman's arc.
Can I just point out that when the the stadium that they're in, when Gotham Square Garden or whatever, like gets flooded,
It,
and
oh, okay,
he notices the giant electronic thing is gonna fall and electrocute everybody
yeah.
unless he stops it. So he jumps on and he grabs the cable. Why did he cut above where he's holding?
I have no clue.
I'll never understand why he made that decision. Like, have you not been trained in mountain climbing, Batman?
He is
You
not.
don't.
He's never seen Cliffhanger. Like that was
Oh
before his time.
man, that was killing me. It made no fucking sense why he had to fall with the device. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I was that hurt my brain too.
that was weird, and also what what also was weird about that scene is oh shit, I just lost it too. I was gonna talk about the I was gonna go twist back to the adrenaline thing around that scene, the scene before it. Like some people were speculating that it's Venom, not
It was
just
green.
adrenaline.
It
It was
was
green. It
green.
was it was very
Yeah,
green.
yeah. I thought it too in the moment. I did. I was like, it could be, but whatever. Everything could be something until until it can never not be anymore.
So maybe he was just roided out and wasn't thinking straight. So he cut above. He got the
Maybe
rope, and
it
then it
was
would have been
just
funnier if he was floating in place for a second, like 2 seconds, and then he realizes that he's gonna fall, and that's when he falls. That would have
a
been
very
cool.
Wile E. Coyote moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. Or he holds up a sign that says Yelp. Yeah,
Yes. That was easily one of the like one of the moments where I was just like, okay, things are starting to get dumb here. Maybe let's wrap this up. And so
and they
and
immediately like once he hit that flare, like that scene kind of shifted and was interesting again for a few
yeah,
minutes, I guess.
yeah. But it did feel weird to see him be a hero only in the end, but I I got what they were trying to do. I
Yeah,
just don't think it was the best execution of it. Like it could
sure.
have been a gradual, like thing. But maybe the point was he kept seeing these kids, and staring creepily at him and realizing that he's not doing anything beneficial to them. He's
Mhm.
just making them feel attractive. And so by the end of it, he's like, wait, there is something I can do for these kids. I can save them.
He's all, they'd be sexy in yellow and like green
Yeah.
underwear.
Yeah. Green underwear, green scaly underwear.
Green scaly underwear. That's hot.
Yeah.
Um, also, like we've never brought this up, and I don't think we've talked about this in any argument, and I have not seen this referenced anywhere online yet. At least where I've been looking. But nobody brought up how dumb his gliding scene looked. That thing was like CG, like bad green screen with his little raccoon suit. Is
It
flying
was
around,
CG. I appreciated it for being a new take on it. And so, you
but it
know,
just looked horrible.
it didn't look great, but I don't know. I guess I know what it was. In that moment, I had just gotten done asking myself, does Batman realize that part of the whole mystique is the spectacle? I was like, we could really use some spectacle about now. And then he gave me a spectacle, and I was like, okay, thank God you're finally giving me a spectacle. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
Because
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
a car is not enough to make the spectacle. Like you need to be doing inhuman shit. Like driving a car through things is cool, but please do something that leaves people being like, what the fuck did that guy
What
just
the
do?
fuck
So
did he just pull out? Yeah,
so I really needed that moment, and it came at just the right time for me because I was really that was hurting me because I had already resigned to the fact that I was like, okay, you're clearly not a fucking ninja because you're stomping around all over the place, just stomping around
just stomping
like,
around,
oh,
Batman.
there's a puddle, watch me stomp in it, and then he's
Just-
stomping in puddles.
He's leaving
And
mud all over our floors.
seriously,
Stomping.
so I was I needed that, and you can't take that glider scene away from me because it
I
was
do.
it was just it was
I
just
do like that
something.
he ate shit at the end. I thought that was cool. But I'm just talking about like the spectacle was great and the
Yeah,
the idea was great. I just think the execution of it
yeah,
on film
yeah,
looked
for
like
sure.
I'm trying to think. It looked like I Love Lucy when they're driving around in the countryside, and you can see the background looking all shitty. Like that's what it looked
Yeah,
like.
yeah. You know what is something minor that I really like that just goes underappreciated. I love the silhouette of his face. Like
Mhm.
his face looked so good with that mask on. Like
Yeah,
it just really looked like Batman, and I appreciated the little bit of under guard that he had on his chin to kind of like sharpen that Batman chin. Like it it
yeah, yeah.
it it turned. Yeah, I wouldn't say he has a weak chin, but it definitely made his chin stronger when he had that mask on.
I think
Um,
the ears were also very Frank Miller.
They were big ass ears, man. I was a little bummed to be like, we're never gonna get an explanation on those ears, are we? We're just
Mhm.
gonna I was like, I really appreciate that about the Chris Nolan ones, is that we got to like get a really cool like little moments explaining every single detail of that suit down to like the weird blades on his gauntlets and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
like so many little things. But I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Not every single story is gonna do everything, but it would be nice if they at least did the sweeping things that matter. So, like you
Mhm.
said, if we get a ninja next time, and then we get a scientist in the third one, that's cool.
Or Science
Uh,
Ninja. I'm fine with that too. I'm
yeah,
fine with
science
whatever they
ninja.
want to give me, really, but as long as it's kind of fresh from what we've gotten in the past.
Yeah,
If we get like Captain Cold or something, and he makes cold puns the entire time, I'm gonna be freaking pissed about that. And he's saving his wife from McGregor syndrome. I'm gonna be pretty annoyed. I'm gonna be pretty taken
yeah,
aback.
yeah. It's all right. Like I'm happy enough to want to see more, but I'm also like, I know how much this movie catered to the casuals, and I hope it doesn't continue down the line of just keeping it too casual. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to be optimistic rather than pessimistic because
But, and my counter to that is, I was really hyped at the end of Matrix. Was it Reloaded, the second one? I was all like, man, that ending's sweet, because Smith is like passed out, lying next to Neo, who has powers from the real world, and this could all pay off and culminate into a fantastic third act. And then it did not pay off and culminate into a fantastic third act.
yeah, yeah, it was funny because I was trying to have weird conversations with Lindsay about my thoughts on this movie, but she kept reminding me, she's like, I didn't see it, so I can't really say one way or the other, like. And my final thing that I was saying is like, I was like, it's kind of like, how you can't really say whether or not The Force Awakens is a great movie until you have all three of them down,
Yeah.
like I didn't love Force Awakens. In fact, I didn't like it much at all, but like, uh,
Retread.
but yeah, well, there are things I liked about it. Exactly. Right. But
Yeah.
like, I didn't like
I
how
like
much
I like some of the characters, and they had a
yeah,
lot of potential.
I didn't like how much retread there was, but there was so much potential at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
And then 2 movies later, you're like, well, that's all shit. I'll just watch The Last Jedi for fun every now and then, and that's it. Like, that's all I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah.
do.
Like
And so
Ray was an interesting character. Finn was an interesting character. Poe was an interesting
yeah,
character.
and so that's the problem I have with franchise building is it's like you can't know if it's 100% good until 6 years later or something like that,
Mhm.
so but like I say with just about every movie that's come out recently, like new movie that's done a lot of crazy stuff, props to them for pulling that shit off during COVID, man. Like that's
Yeah, I forgot about that. Even
that
Robert Pattinson got
he
COVID too at
got
one point.
COVID during
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie, yeah. And I can't help but think like that had to be extra dangerous for like John Turturro too, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
John
Yeah,
Turturro
he's
ain't
hella old.
young, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
old. So
I kept thinking it was John Slattery, like when I watched it, and I'm all like, wow, he's doing a really good accent. I like that. That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
By the way, you should check out Severance because he's pretty cool in that
John
show.
Slattery.
No, John
Or John
Turturro.
Turturro? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I wanna check out Severance, just based on what I saw from, when you had brought it up. I looked it up really quick, and, yeah, it looks
yeah.
interesting. And then, I I just seen, my Sarah was watching something on TV, and we saw it, what's it called? That murder mystery show. I caught the tail end of the,
After Party or
yeah, After
Murderville?
Party, yeah.
Yeah,
I caught the tail end of that preview, and I'm all like, "Ooh, this looks kinda interesting and fun." And I'm
it's
all like,
fun.
"Oh, it's on Apple Plus, we don't have that." And she's all like, "What are you talking about? We get that for free with our cable service." And
I
I'm all
know
like,
how to.
"It's not free if we're paying $300 a month for cable."
You want the nail in the coffin that's going to sell you on that?
So,
Do you know who made that show?
no. McG?
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
a lot of the episodes are actually directed by Chris Miller too, and
Oh,
written
that's
by him.
tight. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing better would be McG, actually.
And so, by the way, uh, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they have connections now, so they have some hilarious cameos that
Oh,
are on
nice.
that show. Like so,
Okay, cool.
the stable of characters is a pretty solid group of not like the most famous comedians, like Tiffany Haddish is pretty famous, but like
Yeah,
everybody else
so
is
is
like
Adam Driver. No, Adam, the hell's his name? After Adam, I can't think of his name. Oh no, I'm thinking of the other show now.
no,
Never
that's
mind.
Adam Scott, and
Adam Scott. Yeah.
he's in Severance. Ben Schwartz is probably the other famous comedian in this, but even then, I think that's a stretch. Like he's Sonic. He's like
Yeah.
he's more known for the voice than. Uh, but there's a lot of comedians that if you've seen other comedy shows, you recognize them and they're cool. But
Okay.
like the cameos they get are excellent. Like they're good. They're fun. And it's people that have been in the Phil Lord, Chris Miller family for a while now, like so
Okay. So I'm
yeah.
expecting like a maybe Elizabeth Smart, or like maybe a Chris Pratt.
You mean Elizabeth Banks?
Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Smart. Who the hell's that?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Smart. Did I make that
No.
up?
Yeah, you made that up.
Okay.
No, it's. I'm not gonna say one or the other, but you'll see, and
Okay.
it's fun. But like, but Dave Franco is everything we need him to be now that we can't have James Franco anymore. Like,
I wish. Who's the hotter one? Is it Dave or James? I never remember that.
I kind of feel like Dave probably is because he's married to Allison Brie.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so I gotta say it's probably him.
Because he's not canceled, also.
He's shorter than James for sure, but like, but yeah, no, he's super funny in that show. But he's ridiculous. He's a ridiculous character. But yeah, it's a cool concept. It's just like every episode, let's run it back, but this time from a different perspective. And they don't just do that. So it doesn't feel like Groundhog Day, you know, like they do add and then they do flashbacks and they just do other perspectives you didn't even think of.
Wait, is it a Groundhog Day or is it more like a season?
It's not a Groundhog's Day.
Is it more of like a season 4 of Arrested Development, where it's basically one story but told from different point of views?
Yeah. It's more like that, and each time you get a little bit more than you did the time before.
Or like, was it season 2 or 3 of Lost when they show like from the tailies perspective? And
yeah. It's like that, but comedy. You know.
Okay, so there's no rewinding of an actual timeline and reliving the same. It's not like Happy Death Day or something.
No. Okay, it's not that. It's not that.
Oh, Happy Death Day. That's another Groundhog's Day movie that I like.
Yeah, it's just Tiffany Haddish is a very charming detective in the same way that, like, you know, Daniel Craig is. Like, you just the kind of detective that you would never expect to actually exist in real life, because she just likes she convinces everybody that she loves to hear their mind movies. She's just somebody that likes to listen to gossip and listen to people tell stories. And so she encourages everybody to tell their story however they want. And it's really funny. Just like everybody's got such a different view in their head of what reality looks like and stuff. So
that's interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah. So you get different versions of the story over and over again. Yeah.
There was I sing a lot of praises of the World of Darkness games, or just the RPG, the tabletop RPGs, but they had a video game called Bloodlines. I don't know if you played it.
No, but I've heard you talk about it several times.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm going to talk about it again. Like, because you could play from the...
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, gotta go. You got to play from the perspective of different... You could play from any clan's perspective, and it gives you a different perspective on the story, like the more you play. So it rewards you story-wise for choosing to play as all 7 of the clans that are available.
There's a Square Enix game that came out a couple years ago on the Switch that does that too. Like, it's like a role-playing game where you play like as 7 different people.
Oh.
But like, you know, so you get to choose which one you start as.
That's cool.
But like, yeah,
what's the name of the game?
I don't remember what it's called.
It's not the one that has there's like Octopussy Traveler.
Yeah.
Is that that one?
Yeah, okay. Octopath Traveler.
Octopath,
I guess there's 8 people probably, not 7.
Yeah.
It's probably 8. Yeah.
Still, that's one more. That's one more than Vampire Bloodlines.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm down.
I don't know that it's good, just to be clear. Like,
no, but I like the concept of it, and that's why I like the Souls games, because they are Groundhog's Day to me. They are Men in Black 3, which I enjoyed. I know you don't enjoy them. I don't think you enjoy any of them Men in Blacks nowadays, right?
I've never seen Men in Black 3.
What? Okay. But yeah, I mean,
wait. Is Men in Black 3 the one where Josh Brolin plays young Kay?
Yeah.
Nope, never seen it.
Jermaine Clements in it?
Never seen it.
Okay.
I may have seen parts of it, like the commercial, but I've never seen the movie.
That's as far as you desired. Damn, two burned you that bad?
Yeah. I just don't.
2 was bad.
You know what? And I came to realize this a few days ago. Watching something. I'm trying to remember what it is. I don't remember specifically, but I was applauding some actor for always being them, and I'm like, whoa, is that weird that I like them for doing that all the time? but I hate Will Smith for doing it all the time. Like, and I
What,
also hate Tom Cruise for doing it all the time. Like,
was it Ryan Reynolds from Free Guy being
I was
Ryan Reynolds?
definitely was saying I added Ryan Reynolds to my list of ones that I like,
Yeah.
but it wasn't him at first. I think it was Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, Tiffany
Actually,
Haddish.
I was saying like, is this weird that I love Tiffany Haddish every time she just plays Tiffany Haddish? And then I was like, wait, I love Ryan Reynolds every time he does too. Why do I hate Tom Cruise and Will Smith? Is it because they're Scientologists? Like, uh,
Oh,
I don't know the sure answer for that, but I'm probably gonna get somebody at my door tomorrow once the algorithm
yeah.
gets
Once
this
the
over to them.
algorithm hits, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, I think I've told this before, but one of my trips to Hollywood, I went to the Church of Scientology because they offered a free IQ test, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't know what my IQ
No,
is.
it's a Thetan test, isn't it?
No, no. Well, this was an IQ test.
Oh,
They did
okay.
have Dayton tests, but that wasn't what I was there for. They encouraged me to go to the Church of Scientology and take a Thetan test later.
Yeah.
One and they're all like, "You really need this. You really need this. We see your depression is out of control. You need this." And I'm all like, "Oh, okay, cool. No, I'm good. Thank you."
You do need it though. I could tell.
Do I need Scientology in my life?
No, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
need Xenu or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna come to my door.
Are you
Thanks.
sure it's not Zemnu?
Is it Zemnu? The Hulk villain, the fuzzy Hulk villain.
Oh, that reminds me. I opened those Doctor Strange toys.
Oh, nice.
Um, the Rintra is hilarious. It's just a big giant green minotaur.
Sarah asked about that. She's all like, she pointed to it and she's like, "Oh, look, it's a cow. Why is there a random cow in this shard of glass for the poster?" And I'm all like, "That's Rintra."
Yeah, one second. I'm not getting him, but I'm gonna get a different one.
She's all
I
like,
can
"What?"
still hear you. I can still hear you.
She was like, "What's Rintra?" And I'm all, "Rintra. You know Brad Rintra? He was in Encino Man with Brendan Fraser." And then she's all like, "I don't know what that means." Like, so she totally didn't get my joke, but I feel like she should have. Um, Going back to the list of movies that I wanted to watch last week, I didn't get around to seeing Tick Tick Boom, but I saw everything else. And
Oh
like,
wow,
what the f was the Kingsman?
it was weird. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really treat it as a real like intelligent movie either. You know,
Yeah, I
check
put it actually.
this guy
Oh shit,
out.
sick.
It's Sleepwalker with one sleeve missing.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's very 90s, very 90s indeed. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one that I got out of the new ones.
It is bad.
Um, yeah. I also
But
got a Quasar.
Quasar.
Yeah, he's not my favorite.
I never lie. I don't like space stuff from
He
Marvel. And
looks like
stuff.
Space He-Man is what he looks like,
Like, who was
which is
that
kind
other
of
one?
redundant.
Who was the one with the lightsaber? We always talk. I always bring him up. He's like He-Man with a lightsaber.
Thundar,
Is
the
it Thundar? Yeah,
barbarian.
Thundar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thundar.
Okay, well, Quasar doesn't quite look like that, but you know what I mean.
Does he look
He's
like
got
what's the other He-Man? The first He-Man? Himunga or something like that.
hero or I
Hero,
don't
yeah,
know.
Hero, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So my daughter texts me out of the blue yesterday.
Okay,
She's at
Quasar.
Walmart. She's buying a new bed. She texts me, and she's all like, "Hey, I see these He-Man toys. Are you still collecting them?" And I'm all like, "No." And then she sends me a picture, and I see all these great He-Man toys that I want, and I'm all, "Well, fuck, just buy them." I ended up spending about $150 in He-Man toys, just buying the stupid Land Shark because I never had it and I always wanted it.
The
I bought
land shark. Oh my god.
Land Shark, Stridor. Do you remember that? The horse. I had Stridor, Stratos because I wanted a different Stratos. I have the gray Stratos, that the original one, but this Stratos just looks like a naked dude, a dude in his
Yeah,
underwear.
here's Quasar.
He doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, he's all right. He's a Walmart or Walgreens exclusive.
He looks like when they made what was it called? It was like He-Man 2099 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's more what I meant that he looks like. He looks like the future, the updated He-Man,
Yeah,
whatever.
it was man, that He-Man was the worst thing I'd
Yeah,
ever seen.
yeah, he
Um,
was. I
yep.
so the weird thing about the He-Man line, and probably one of the reasons I like the Marvel Legends line is, um, like the thing I like about the Marvel Legends is I'm collecting characters that I've never had before as toys. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He-Man, it's only ever characters that you had or wished you had back then, because like you couldn't get it for some reason. But like
yeah,
they're just constantly remaking things that exist. And I know every now and then they throw out a new one that never existed before, like technically, like on a technicality, like
yeah,
Hero or something like that, like or whatever. But it's weird to me. With that said, I do have a glass case filled with Transformers masterpiece figures over here on the right. So I relate. I understand,
yeah,
but it's a very curated group of them that like it's not a lot. It's just like when I say I have Decepticons, I have like Megatron, Soundwave, Shockwave, uh and Starscream. That's
like
what I have.
the main ones.
Yeah, I just get to have the main ones, like, and then the Autobots, I've got Optimus, and then I got a bunch of the ones that were in the first few episodes of the show, because that's like, you know, it's very specific. And then like GI Joe, same deal. I've got a handful of the ones that are just really close to my heart. But so I get it. I get
Yeah.
it.
Well, for
Um,
me, it's more the vehicles. Like I was always too poor to have the vehicles,
yeah,
but we
I
did
get you.
eventually get the figures. Like every birthday or two, I'd get like a figure from everybody, which
Hmm.
landed me a lot of figures. So there was almost never no figure I never got.
Yeah,
The only caveat to that is if I would get like a figure like as a hand me down or see it at the Goodwill or something, they wouldn't give me the real figure. So I'd get like Buzz Off, but he had like one bunk ass wing and no weapons. And I'm all, well, I mean, I got Buzz Off, so I should be happy. But now I get
yeah,
the real Buzz Off or the real
yeah.
remake of Buzz
And
Off.
also, I rebought everybody back in uh what, the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
when they did the Cartoon Network one. I
Yeah, yeah.
rebought all of them back then.
Oh, you
So
did? Oh, cool. Yeah, they had two back, I think, and that's one
yeah,
that I didn't get.
they did.
Um,
They had Buzz Off too. That's why when you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely had that one. But I actually sold all of those a few years ago, like at a store.
Yep.
Um, I just took all of them with my McFarlane toys and whatever else I wanted to get rid of, and I just like take it all. And
Take it all.
yeah,
I got rid of those too. Actually, it's funny you say that. The only thing that I kept, and I only kept it by accident because I had it in a box tucked away and I forgot about it. It's like a double pack of He-Man and Skeletor.
and they come the VHS tapes too.
Didn't have the VHS tape. No.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I had a He-Man and a Skeletor that came with VHS tapes of the old show.
Oh, cool.
Like each one came with an episode of the old show,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
that's I think how I learned that J. Michael Straczynski wrote the old show back in
Mhm.
the day. That's how he started as a TV scriptwriter for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty cool.
learned that through I let someone borrow the DVDs because I had the DVDs that formed like
Yeah,
the mural or whatever. I lent them to someone, and when I got it back, I got it back in less than good condition, so I don't display them. But still,
yeah,
that's how I found out. Like because I had no choice but to read the whole through the DVD that said J. Michael Straczynski credited on there, and I'm all like, oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That's cool in a way.
Back to what you were saying about the vehicles and how you couldn't afford them when you're younger and stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
there's a funny story that I hope this does not end up being like the reason for like serial killing or like down the line. But I have a weird story of like Voltron. I I don't know if you've watched the new Netflix Voltron, um, but I love that show because it's done by the people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah. It's like
yeah,
partially seen. That's the one where Pidge is a girl, but she's hiding it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pidge
yeah,
is a
yeah,
girl that's hiding it. It's a really cool show. It gets a little long on the tooth, but it really wraps up in a very beautiful way
yeah, yeah,
that rewards you for watching the whole thing. But I actually really like the redesign of Voltron in that show.
yeah.
I think it was really cool, and I never owned the Five Lions when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So what I did is when I had disposable income when that show came out, and like I really liked the look of it enough, but really I wanted just the feeling of having them all. but I didn't feel like I just deserved to buy a full set of Voltron for myself.
You deserve it. You just
Well, because they're huge. It's big. They're
wait.
really big. Like they're big.
Back in the day, you could buy them lion by lion.
Yeah, and you could still this time.
Oh, you could. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. That's
yeah,
sweet.
but they're big. I'm saying like they're
Mm.
not like I
Like
mean
each lion is big.
they're not like I mean each lion is about where's my lion? I have he's somewhere hidden over here. Um, each lion's about 7 or 8 inches long. You know, like I mean,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
maybe with the tail out a little longer than that. Like they're decent sized. But in any case, I bought all 5 of them, and I gave away 4 as Christmas presents.
Oh my god.
And what I did is I gave them as 4. Like I had a very specific group of people that I gave them away to.
Oh, I
That
see. What's
that
okay?
we created the Tontine from The Simpsons.
That's funny.
And so the plan is when each one dies, one day, one person will form Voltron. But we all had a group dinner for Christmas that year,
Mm.
and we did assemble Voltron together with each of our Voltrons, or our lions. We each put it together once and took pictures of it, and then we disassembled it, and each person went back and took it to wherever they get. Some have it on their office desk, some have it tucked away in storage somewhere, but everybody has one lion, and one day, sadly, years from now,
Someone gets to be Voltron.
somebody will form Voltron. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Why didn't you just get hellfish tattoos instead? That would have been a little quicker and easier.
I guess so. I guess so.
They
But
have that service that allows you to they'll take your skin and put it in a frame for you to preserve your tattoos.
I mean, would you rather have that or Voltron?
Oh, you're right. You're right. I want Voltron. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
So hopefully the toy's not like decomposed from age, like like
I
I like
know
I learned that's just like something that older toy companies didn't know, but like
because the
this is
squishy heads, they got the squishy heads.
well, the Voltrons don't have squishy heads.
No, but I'm saying like the He-Mans. Going back to the He-Mans,
Oh
the
yeah,
squishy
yeah, yeah.
heads.
Anything with even the mildest amount of water content inside them is just not
Yeah,
has not aged well at all. So the Voltrons are pretty rigid plastic though, so probably
hopefully.
probably they're fine. Yeah,
Uh,
but
I'm,
I didn't name names so that way I don't have to worry about them getting serial killed like later on. Like
oh yeah, yeah.
that would be weird if we just had like one patron that's like, I want to see Voltron formed, and then just started going and killing all the people
One
I gave.
one by one starts ganking them.
Yeah, yeah. I still got the Batman in my head, so I'm very suspicious of people right now.
Or it's like Zachary Quinto just goes around and he takes the Voltron and murders your friend, and he's
he
just
takes
working
the
his way to the.
Voltron's powers. Yes,
He's just
exactly.
working his way to it.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
so I got a really bad and shitty story about Voltron. I had all 5 lions
Okay.
growing up. And this wasn't like it was an all at once thing. It was accumulated through my mom's saving or whatever, and I really wanted a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, so I traded my Voltron lions for a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Yeah,
Wow.
really bad decision on my part. I always figured I could buy a Voltron figure later on down the line.
Yeah, I had all 15 of the second Voltron,
The car one.
the vehicles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one was cool.
No, it
Oh
wasn't.
no, I like the concept. I never had it because my mom didn't trust me with toys like that anymore past the Flamin' Hot Cheeto incident.
All right, in theory, okay, so yeah, I probably had a lot of fun with it, like when I was a kid. I did.
Mhm.
But like it had like very few points of articulation, and it was a pain in the ass to put together because it was 15 pieces, it wasn't as cool as watching the lions form Voltron, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and it wasn't like
but
the Megazord, which had different configurations.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Or did it?
you could put the left leg on the right instead,
What? You broke new ground.
or you could put the right arm on the left.
How would he walk if he did that? How would he walk? He'd walk in
Yeah,
circles.
but it was just a very boring looking toy when it was all formed. But having 15 little vehicles was fun to play with, but yeah, I don't know, something about it always felt like I got the weird shaft, and I know I got 15
Mm.
toys rather than 5, but I mean, come on, the lions were
The lions were pretty cool.
die cast too, right? Like they were. I
They
don't
were
remember.
depending on which one you got.
I don't remember a lot of metal in the 15 one that I had.
So, like I said, I never had the vehicle one, so I always assumed they were die cast, so they were all plastic.
There's a lot of plastic on them, but there might have been some metal at the connecting points.
Mm.
But there was a lot of plastic. It was a lot. Yeah, they're shitty. I can't stress enough how like I don't like whenever I had the opportunity to sell things, like those things were gone pretty quick. Like I was just like, I knew that I had the poor man's Voltron.
Did
I
you ever get
say
the
that
the,
knowing
beat- the what were you say?
the irony of that statement, because that probably cost an arm and a leg to get all of them.
15 freaking toys.
Yeah. What were
I
you
was
gonna
gonna
ask?
say, did you ever get the Beetlejuice toys? Oh, that was such a weird premise to make a toy line based on the movie Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Have you dared to watch the Teen Titans that I told you to watch?
Oh, the episode of Teen Titans to start with? No,
Yeah.
I'm just marked it down. I've got this folder on my I got a folder that I have that's called movies/shows to watch, and I got so many of them, man. I got like The Bodyguard, I got Ong Bak.
So that episode of Teen Titans, uh, yeah, there's a little bit of metal. I'm looking at that Voltron, but he
Oh
looks like
yeah.
a piece of shit. Um, but no, that the reason I sent you that episode is because it's this hilarious episode where um, they make fun of the new Thundercats cartoon, the brand new one, like from like now from like I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's very cartoony and wacky and like fun. Uh, and they're trying to watch Thundercats on TV, and they watch this new version, and it pisses them off because that's not how Thundercats is supposed to be. And see, it's a meta joke because they're making fun
They're
of
making fun of themselves. Yeah,
the people who hate on their show,
yeah.
which is you. And so I wanted you to see it because it's really funny, because they make fun of the new one, and then they actually get Lion-O from the original to be on that show also.
Oh my
And it's
god.
like the most meta, weird, hilarious thing ever. And then they actually also get the other Lion-O from the
From the new one, from
2012 or
the
whatever.
Steven
Yeah, like
Universe looking one.
no, they get all of that one, but I'm saying they also get the one in the middle, the one from the Cartoon Network from what after He-Man got rebooted.
Oh, that's right. I
They
forgot that they
they have
briefly had that.
yeah, that show is really good too, by the
I
way.
forgot about that.
That one was also done by the people who did Avatar, I believe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh. I
yeah,
totally forgot about that because
that show is
I
good.
totally missed it. I just didn't have time to watch it.
I sent you the link to that Voltron so you could see the
I,
stupid toy.
I thought you were talking. Oh no, yeah. I looked up the stupid toy and it looks like utter shit.
Yeah, but
What the hell was I thinking as a kid?
yeah, it's bad. But the reason I brought up the Teen Titans one is because that season, like that episode just blew my mind because it was so funny and meta. And but then the rest of that season continues to do more and more weird cameos from other cartoons.
Mhm.
So there's an episode where they bring back Freakazoid,
Oh what?
and then there's an episode where they bring back Beetlejuice.
Oh what? The cartoon version of Beetlejuice?
Yes,
That's funny.
there's an entire Beetlejuice cartoon episode of Teen Titans Go, and it's so funny. And yeah, they do a lot of those that season, and I was just like, All right, I guess they ran out of ideas, so they're just crossing over with all the old cartoons, and
Yeah, fuck it. I'll allow it. That sounds great.
it's pretty great, man. And I wish you would just open your heart to that show because it's just silly and fun, and like those actors just genuinely love playing those characters. Like you can
But
tell.
they're the same actors from Teen Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
same. Okay,
And
yeah.
that's why I love them because they've been doing this almost as long as Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill have been doing their thing too. They just
Yeah.
went in a different direction with it. You know what I mean? So but it's fun because like the thing we liked about old Teen Titans cartoon was like we loved the bromance between Beast Boy and Cyborg, right? And that still persists. And we love the like will they won't they with Robin and Starfire.
Starfire, yeah.
And that's not really there because it's funny because he's just a giant nerd who she's never impressed by, and it's really cool. But they, the weird romance between Beast Boy and Raven, that's still there. Like so. There's
Mm-hmm.
all the things, like all the core, like stories that were that you appreciated about that are still there. It's just like all the actual adventures they go on are fucking ridiculous. So
Well,
they're still them. It's just
it's just they're in different scenarios now, and Slade isn't so like weird.
yeah, Slade's not Ron Perlman anymore. Like,
Oh, really?
well, actually, they don't use Slade in
I
the
was gonna say, yeah. I
cartoon.
thought they didn't. I thought
They
Slade
they
didn't show
use
up.
him in the movie. They used him in the movie. Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Oh, okay.
It was Will Arnett. Will Arnett was Slade.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
It was
No,
it was
the
pretty
Teen
cool.
Titans Go to the Movies. That's the one that has the Avengers Endgame ending before Avengers Endgame had it. I think. Is that one, or is that the other one? Did they make two movies, or just?
They do have two movies. They have Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and then they have Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans.
I think that's the Avengers Endgame one. Okay.
It might be, yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Sarah said she saw Teen Titans versus Teen Titans on a flight home from like the East Coast or something like that. Seems like a
Yeah.
weird movie to watch on a airplane though.
Oh, that's what I always watch. The weirdest movies is on the airplane.
No, but they were playing it. They were showing it was the in-flight movie. It wasn't like on her laptop or something like that.
Yeah, no, I just
Oh,
meant I always watch weird movies on the in-flight
okay,
thing.
okay.
Like I watch the stuff I wouldn't normally. There was one flight I did coming back from like the UK. I just binged like 3 Ryan Gosling movies back to back. I was like,
Sweet.
I want to see what the fuss is all about this Ryan Gosling guy. And I watched like Drive,
Oh yeah,
and I watched that movie, what Crazy Stupid Love, and then I
I haven't seen
watched
that
that.
one.
That's with Steve Carell also,
Mm.
and then I watched the one with George Clooney. I can't remember the name of it. It's like some I forget the name of it.
George Clooney and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Drive
but
is a fantastic movie though. That's a good film.
yeah, but all three of the movies were pretty good, and I was like, okay, I guess I like Ryan Gosling now. So
He's all
it was
right.
just I just do random things when I do flights. I just watch random stuff. You never know.
Yeah, I think I saw like Mike in German. That's all I remember. Usually, I just fall asleep during. I get drunk and fall asleep on a flight. It's
That's fair enough. That's
that's
another way to do it.
that's my mo.
That's fair.
But yeah. Drive even has a stacked ass cast too.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a good.
It's a
So
good
you
movie.
you recommend the other two movies then?
Yeah, they're not as good as Drive, but they're
Oh,
good. I can't remember the name of the Clooney movie because it's like some. It's not like the Pelican Brief, but you
I
know
was
what
gonna
I
say
mean.
it's not
It's
like
like
the
it's
Three Kings or something like that, right? Isn't
no,
it?
no, 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 no. Damn it! Find the movie.
I
Find
liked
it.
them in La La Land. Also, I like La La Land.
Oh, I love La La Land. That's a
What a
great
what a
movie.
what a sad what a dour movie. Spoilers.
I don't know. I don't find it sad. I mean,
It's
it
it's
can.
not like Moulin Rouge sad, but it's just kind of sad when you think about it.
I mean, sure. Uh, Blue Valentine, I've never watched because I heard that one's sad. That's supposed to be a bummer of a movie. Um, where is it? It's got a lot. The Ides of March.
Ides of March.
The Ides of March, I believe, is the movie I was thinking of. Oh, those movies all came out in the same year. The three
Ooh,
movies that I watched:
Paul Giamatti and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Holy shit!
The
Oh
Ides
man,
of March, Crazy Stupid Love, and and Drive all came out in 2011, and I watched them all on the plane. There you go.
Ides of March. That's cool. That's stacked ass cast.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember what it's about, but I remember it being a good movie.
All right. Well, this is going on my movies to watch list in the ever growing movies to
Crazy
watch
Stupid
list.
Love is less. It's not just a Ryan Gosling movie, but it is Emma Stone in it also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a stat cast too, if I remember right. Let me see here.
it's
Oh
more
shit,
Steve
Julianne
Carell.
Moore,
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei again.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking, like you said, Steve Carell. I don't know who Jonah Bobo is. He's the only one that's
Jonah Bobo
Jonah Bobo. Oh wait, is that his character? No, that's the actor's name. Robbie Weaver is played by Jonah Bobo.
is probably a kid.
Josh Groban though. Josh Groban, Kevin Bacon. Wow,
There you go.
wow.
Now you got three Ryan Gosling movies to go watch again.
What? And Talia al
Or
Ghul? She plays Talia al Ghul. Oh God, no! Damn you, IMDb. I've already seen Drive though. I don't mind watching it again though. Is it on? What are you
yeah,
streaming on Drive?
I probably gotta go soon because I gotta get up early in the morning. I'm gonna go to the Abilities Expo in LA.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Fridge is Fridge just got home. He had some personal stuff going on, and he was kind of gone for like a month, and then he came back. You know, lost 40 pounds. He's good, and then his mom passed away. Um, so to kind of like keep his mind off things, I bought him an Xbox. I bought him a Series S,
mhm.
and he wants to play fucking Halo at like 6 in the morning.
Where is he living right now?
San Diego.
Oh, why does he want to play at 6 in the morning?
Dude, so that guy's an enigma, man, because he's both a night owl and an early bird. I don't know how he does it. Well, I guess he naps like during the day.
Like Batman, 20
Yeah,
minute
maybe he's
micro naps.
Batman. Yeah, he
20-minute micro naps all the time.
that's what he does. Yeah, he just has the alarm and he just goes to sleep. No, he does. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Like and he's functional in the morning. Like I'm not functional at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
If I were to be awake, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm more functional at nighttime. I don't know how he does it. He's an
I,
enigma. Anyway, I'm
I'm
stuck
barely even
playing.
functional at 7 a.m., man. Like,
Yeah, for reals. Like until I get like 3 or 4 cups of coffee by like 9:30, I'm not functional.
like Lindsay, like, so when we get up in the morning, like, I get up and I do like Wordle, but she gets up, she walks the dogs, and then like she goes and has a whole adventure out in the world at like 7 or 8 in the morning, right? And then she
Hmm.
comes back, and because she's been alone, just with the dogs out in nature, like her brain's gotten all this stimuli, and it's crazy because she comes back and she just wants to like tell me all these things, and like I'm like, all I did was sit here. Like my brain is not where yours is, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. I can't. I don't. I'm just still waking up, and so it's pretty funny.
That's
Uh,
what it was like having Gary, Ghost Hunter Gary in our band, Gary Eismo, because
oh yeah,
he would do that. He would do like 27 things before we would even get up. So we'd be getting to practice, and literally that's all we did that day was drive to practice. And he
yeah,
was already like, feeding kids at the orphanage and like
yeah.
climbing mountains and shit.
It's hard, but like if I leave this room right now, I'm fairly certain she's been asleep for about an hour and a half.
Hmm.
She just can't. She just can't do nighttime anymore. Like it's pretty funny. I used to be more the morning person, and I think she used to be more. Well, I don't know if she was ever a nighttime person, but yeah, I just
E-
can't. I can't do it in the
Even
mornings.
sometimes when I see your text messages at 8 o'clock, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm all, whoa, whoa, early bird, whoa, whoa.
That's because I have to get up at 7 because the dogs need to
Oh,
get fed, and like I don't like they wake us up. Like they know what time it is. It's really gross. They can tell time.
yeah, unless it's daylight savings time and then they fuck you.
well, they know what time it really is. Then that's the thing. Like they
Yeah.
know they're not fooled by no daylight savings like we are. Um, yeah. So it's really weird and creepy.
Oh, I keep forgetting to tell you. And before I forget, before we disband right now, Hurdle. It's another Wordle, but they play songs. Um, they play,
Interesting.
and you got like 5 guesses, I think.
Yeah, I abandoned all Wordles except Wordle, and
Oh, really?
for fun, I do play Sedicordle,
What's that one?
which it's 16 Wordles all at once, and you get 21 guesses.
Ooh.
But the weird thing about it is it's it uses the same library as Wordle,
Mm,
so it kind of trains you to know all the different words in Wordle.
yeah.
So that so but the thing I like about Citicortal is like it's easier to like stumble upon a word because like if you do good at most of your guesses, then you have a few left over to waste on like the last one or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so sometimes I learn new words that I didn't know, like
Okay.
um
Just by going through and
by process of
figuring it out.
elimination,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, sometimes they learn new words. Whereas I think that's why I like Wordle and that. But I was playing, like I gave up on the adult one because it's like
Yeah. It was lame.
I think I'm too old to like want to know what a ponut is. Like, do you know what a ponut is?
Ponut?
Yeah,
No, I don't. What is it? Should I look
it's
it
a
up?
yeah, sure. Look it up. Look it up. Once I
Mm,
learned that word, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done.
oh,
I'm done.
I should have guessed. Freaking bronies and cloppers. That's pretty
Yep.
funny.
And then I learned what a clopper was in the process of that too. And I was like, fuck, I don't need to know this information. So yeah, so that's when I gave up on that game. And then I was playing math ones too.
Hmm.
There's like Mathler, and then like there's a hard version of Mathler also.
Yeah.
And those were stupid because your available buttons are 0 through 9, plus, minus, times, and divide.
Okay.
And you're like, but one, you still get or 6 squares, I think. 6 squares. 6 squares in this one because normally it's 5. 6 squares, they show you a number and you have to figure out the formula that creates that number. But the problem is like there's not like an infinite number of solutions for that. But there's
Mhm.
also not a solution that you can't obtain through just common sense, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no such thing as a number that you're going to be like, no one's ever determined the formula for this number. You know
Like
what I mean?
I see what you're
It's
saying. Yeah.
not the same as words in that like there's definitely words it exists in the universe that you don't know and you could learn them. So like I got really insulted by the math one because I'm like, bro, I don't need you to teach me that 5 times 2 plus 8 is 18. Like it's like that's fucking stupid. Like that's what's the point of this?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. And then the hard version is like 8 squares, but you also get the 2 parentheses, so you can do order of operations puzzles.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
cool.
like,
That's even cooler. No,
yeah,
still no.
it's okay. Like
It's the journey, not the destination.
yeah, I guess so. I guess so. That's literally what those are about. But so I gave up a bunch of those because they were just consuming too much of my morning. And so like I only do Wordle, but I still do later Sonic. Like later Sonic is
Yep.
so good.
So
It's
once
so
we did
good.
like later Sonic or irate Sonic, I kind of go because like I told you, I open with Chomp all the time,
Yeah.
and that's just for whatever stupidity I have,
Yeah.
OCDness. But I do later Sonic or irate Sonic depending on what feedback it gives me, and man, I got over the game. I just got over everyone.
Was it too easy because of later?
Yeah, it started getting way too easy. Like I started getting
Yeah.
them with like within 3 and 4, when normally I was always getting them within like 4 and 5, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know about this anymore.
Sorry.
And
I
also,
ruined it.
the New York Times people, I guess, made it easier. Apparently, They
Oh,
took out certain difficult words and certain double letter words.
yeah. You know when they did the switch on the New York Times one,
Mhm.
like Dave texted me and he's like, "Hey, they just switched over to New York Times right now, but people aren't sure if their stats are carrying over. So, if you want, here's your opportunity to try and do it the same one you did today." Uh and he's like, "I guess you could do your all the same guesses you did to make sure it's legit." And I just went in there and typed in the answer right away. And so now I have a one guess. I have a one guess on my streak.
Sweet.
I did it. I achieved the dream.
So I'd found out that if you delete your app data on your browser, it kills your statistics. So that was
Nice.
another determining factor in which I was just like, I am Wordle no more. Like I threw that in the trash can and just walked
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. I still do it for now, but mostly I do it because it's so easy. Like it's
Just
like
something to do.
Later and Sonic or like so basically what I did is I did Later and then I came up with like a list of 5 different words that I would in addition to Sonic
Mhm.
that I could use for any one letter that pinged on Later. If I got one letter correct on Later, depending on the letter, I have 5 words ready to go.
Yeah.
But and obviously if Later pings nothing, I do Sonic. But if Later gets more than one or more than one letter, then I just kind of like feel it out, like as I go. Because once you get 2 letters on the first try, you can do a
Yeah.
lot of elimination pretty quickly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
done. When
pretty
I
fun.
when I get hits with Chomp, it's a real feel good.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I don't
So
get hits with Chomp, I'll get it within this second or third one. It's not a big
yeah,
deal.
but you might like Sedecordal. It's Sede Cordal. I think it's supposed to be like Sudoku, but spelled all stupid. But in any case, it's 16 unless Sedek is somehow prefix for 16. I'm not sure. Sedecordle.
S E C O
Sedec
D E C O R
Cordal. Yeah. Or Sedecordal.
Portal. There it is. Setacordal.com.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Or
that's pretty.
dot ponut.
That's pretty intimidating. That's cool. Top
It's it
Bonet.
it's not that intimidating because like you just type your word and then it fills in all 16 squares, and so you just kind of scroll up and down and you just kind of like do the words that like you can easily knock out first, and you just keep scrolling up and down until like it starts eliminating one by one. And the fun part is because you're guessing 16 words, you're going to go through all the letters pretty much. So like
Mm.
you're pretty much going to end up with like maybe like Z and like X and maybe like 2 other letters that don't get used, but everything else will get used. It's pretty funny. So
Okay.
for Cordal, the way I do it is I do Later and Sonic and then Fudgy. I don't even care if I got letters on each of them.
Yeah.
I just do it because you can afford to waste 3 when you get 21 guesses, you can afford to waste 3, and that's all 6 vowels. That's all
That's
6 vowels.
crazy. So it totally it you scroll down and you see all the different puzzles that you're doing
Yeah,
and
at
it
the
all
same time.
mirrors. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do Later, Sonic, and Fudgy, and then boom, a bunch of useful letters have been eliminated. Like 15 useful letters have been eliminated, uh, or verified, whatever.
Oh wow.
It helps a lot, but it's still tricky at times.
This is some Bobby Fischer Wordle shit right here.
Yeah, it's like playing 16 games of chess all at the same time.
That's
It's pretty
crazy.
fun. I like that one, but it does give you an edge on Wordle because you start getting repeat words like every few days because
Yeah.
it's freaking 16 of them. So yeah, but
That's pretty cool.
there's something satisfying I find in that game in that I just get to dick around with with it, you know.
So when I assume then when one puzzle's solved, it's done, and then you can just move on to the next puzzle.
When that one's solved, it no longer takes the input for anymore. Yeah.
And then do you have to solve all of them to win, or do you have to just solve like
Yeah.
one? Or
Yeah.
okay, you do have to solve all.
You got to solve all, but it'll tell you, it gives you a stats at the end, but like the screen will be red if you didn't finish even one, you know.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so you're trying to get all 16 before you run out of guesses.
that's pretty sick. I like it.
Yeah. I think in some ways it's more relaxing, because Wordle's stressful because it's only the six guesses, and then
Yeah.
that's it, you know what I mean?
And then you have to deal with the stigma of like you didn't know
Yeah,
the word flight.
yeah, but
You
here's the
idiot.
thing. But with Static Wordle, the share screen is so confusing and stupid that like it's not even worth sharing it. So you're really just playing for yourself, just for fun. Like
Got it.
the share screen, what it tries to do is say on what turn you guessed each puzzle, but it's just this most convoluted, ugly mess of a share screen. Like this, just like nobody's gonna read this and give a shit what it says. So
No.
don't even bother sharing it. But yeah, I think that's what makes it more fun, or relaxing, is that you don't have the stress of needing to put that out there into the world and say like, this is how I did, because nobody gives a shit. Like
Yeah, nobody
nobody
cares.
gives a shit. Yeah, exactly. So you can play that one just for you. It's just yours.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good. I
But
haven't
I
seen the
just
share screen actually yet on Hurdle, but I'll have to.
what's so oh, you said Hurdle's the music one, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I would suck at that. By the way, I don't know if you saw the
Oh
message
yeah,
that
you're getting the gang back together. I forgot about that.
I think they're trying to get the gang back together for one of the last four. It
Okay,
doesn't specifically have to be the last one, because I think Clark said he can't do. I
the
think
30th.
I think Clark can only do next week, and that's it. You know. But the awkward thing, and I thought we'd get away without talking about it, but we're gonna do it now. The awkward thing is, man, when I was putting in our team name the other day, ooh, I
No.
did a straight double take, and I'm like, well, still my team name, typed it in, but like
Yeah,
I felt
yeah.
I felt weird about it, and I was like, man, that sucked. But we just all in Zoom we put POTR as our team name, and everybody knows what it is. It's fine. It's fine. But
It's like
it,
KFC.
yeah, exactly. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
that was
at least you have something for it. I could probably do like one or two. I think.
okay. Yeah, because we definitely suck in the music round without you. And Ray doesn't play anymore too, because he's too
He's
tired.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't stay up late anymore because of the chemo. But he seems to be doing all right. Like I see him on Sundays. We've been watching RuPaul together on Sundays.
Oh, that's cool.
And see, he's got a good appetite and everything. He's just, I guess, like, middle of the day is when he's best. He's best and functional. So Oliver keeps too late of hours. So
I only really see him on like Instagram and Facebook.
yeah,
So
yeah. But
that's why I know he's still alive. He's still kicking.
yeah, and I know that
And then he can give you his dragon or his lion maybe. Maybe give you the lion.
he may have the black lion.
Maybe having a lion.
He may have the most important lion, which
I
I
assumed that
may
you would have the lion, the black lion.
no, I do not. I do not have the black lion. I tried to pick based on the characters from the cartoon.
Wait, so you're the princess? You're the
I am the blue lion,
okay.
but the blue lion on the new show is not the princess for
Is it?
a really long time.
Yeah.
Eventually they get there, but the blue lion in the first season is not the princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's someone that I never heard of actually, or I think did they make him up for the show or make
No,
the
he's a
character up?
He's a character for the show.
Is it Lance? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it is Lance. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they just switch lions in the show? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got that far.
In the new show or the old
In the new
old
show, I see in season 1, and I know Lance is like, was he Red Lion and I forget.
Well, so the trick is that it's Shiro is a character that was from the Japanese show, and he pilots the Black Lion for a long time.
Mhm.
But then something happens to Shiro, and then so Keith switches from the red to the Black Lion, and then I believe Lance switches from the blue to the red, and then Allura starts driving the
The
blue lion.
blue. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Honk and Pidge always stay in their lions.
Yeah,
They
the
never.
yellow and green, respectively.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just really frustrating because it's like, change your costume colors, then, guys. Like,
I know. They used to piss me off when I put the pilots in their lions. It used to annoy me.
yeah.
I used to have like Allura piloting the red lion all the time, just because I'm all like, no, you're gonna go in your colors, your respective colors.
But I think in the first season, yeah, Allura doesn't. They basically just stretch out the things that you remember from old show into like story arcs. So I
It's
don't.
been a while since I watched, because I did watch the first season of Voltron and I liked it. I knew I liked it.
Yeah, Allura does end up in that lion, but it takes a while before it gets there, and so I bought those toys in first season. So what are you gonna do? Like, where it ends versus where it started is totally different. But yeah, but Ray does have the Black Lion, and I have had a conversation with him to make sure that, like, I'm wishing the best for him, but
You gave him the Doc Ock, have the tritium ready, have it ready.
Just let you know. Yes, make sure that whoever handles your affairs knows that this Black Lion comes back to us.
That's awesome.
I have no faith that it will, though, so I'll just go buy another one eventually. Whatever.
That is pretty cool, though. It's a cool setup. I hope that works.
Yeah.
In some way, I hope it works. In the other way, I don't want anyone to die.
Yeah, I know, but it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Sure. Yeah.
So you should get a reward for it.
Yeah. Get a reward. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Yeah.
It's basically like the Jet Li movie, The One.
I'll just be over. Yeah, it's like that. I'll just be over in the corner of the funeral, just like playing with my Voltron toys. Be like, Dennis, what are you doing? I'm mourning. Okay, I'm mourning.
We mourn in our different ways. Oh shit! I dropped it in the grave. Damn it!
And then the cops show up and put me in handcuffs. Like, I was like, it was worth it. Like,
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, what a way to end the show, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Did you know that our last show, the one before this one, was ended on 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds?
Nice.
It was pretty cool. It was almost exactly 2 hours long. This one's a little shorter than that.
Yeah, it's good to keep it under 2 hours, and I think we achieved that goal last week. That's good. That's good work on us. Good job, us.
Yeah. It was. Yes, just barely. What did you think of the game, by the way, before we go?
That was fun. It was good. Okay. Every time you make a game or Ricky makes a game, I think of how I can make it in in PHP or HTML.
I thought Ricky's logic was hilariously stupid, but you can't argue with the results.
I can't believe how well his logic worked. 100%. 100%.
That looks like DC blue, and I'm like, bro, I don't even think that's normally what onomatopoeia's color is. It was just a random picture I chose.
I thought he had like a white mask with like red circles or something. And I'm all like, okay.
It varies artist to artist, picture to picture. I just tried to pick pictures that looked good in the box. That's all. Like, that was what I was going for.
He's all, that jacket's Marvel, but I don't know, it's DC blue.
I was sure Mr. Smile would get you guys, but he's like, the gradient, and I'm like,
you can't fool Ricky.
The gradient, dude. Like, that broke my brain.
What if that is Ricky's hidden talent? Like his hidden talent is art detection.
I guess. It was funny. But anyways, yeah, I have that one. I could do another round of that one sometime later. Cool. I found enough ridiculous, stupid things But the only problem is there's a little bit of overlap because it kind of the search criteria I use to find those kind of bleeds into that who's that Pokemon game that I do, you know, but where I just try to find or not that one. The other one, the power picker where I show you obscure ass characters
Yeah,
and
and
you
guess the power.
and you got to figure out who it is or which one it is. Yeah.
We're gonna go over.
All right, fine. We're done. Bye.
Oh no, we went over.
Oh shit.
Oh no, no one's gonna watch this. The algorithm's gonna be all messed up.
All right. Well, I'm fine to go anyways because I got to go to LA. So
all right,
have
later,
a good
man.
one. Later.
See ya.